Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. My name's Zenobia. If you're new, welcome to your first video for my channel. I am going to be doing a St. Patrick's Day tutorial today. First, I wanted to give a little shout out to my friend Ken. He got me a lighting kit and sound kit for my birthday, so I'm so excited about that. Haven't figured out how to use the sound kit yet because it hooks up to your phone. So working on that, but have the lighting kit all ready to go. So I thank him so much. He always gives the best gifts. So that's it for that shout out, and we're gonna jump right into the tutorial. Alright, so I've zoomed this in a little bit just for the tutorials. It's focusing on the eyes. I'm gonna start off with my Smashbox 24-hour primer. This has been the primer that I have been loving. I actually went to Ulta and I put this primer and the Urban Decay one I was using, and just the regular eye primer for Urban Decay, and another primer, I can't even remember what that one was. And I put this eyeshadow on my hand, just kind of walked around the store, and at the end of the day, or at the end of the shopping trip, this is the one that really just kept that eyeshadow. It looked exactly the same, and the rest had kind of started already coming off. I have really oily eyelids, so that is a problem for me. Alright, so all primed and ready for eyes, and now I'm going to be using the I want this look to be really pigmented and having a little bit of darker skin tone. That's kind of hard sometimes with bright colors. So I like to use this NYX eyeshadow base. You can tell it's well loved. It's almost rubbed off. This is the white pearl one, so it's got a little bit of shimmer. They do have one that is just plain white, like matte, and that one is not quite as creamy as this one, I feel like. So I do like it. But it's not as creamy and kind of doesn't spread around quite as easy as this one does. So just gonna spread that around mainly on the eyelid where we want the color to be really pigmented. And this one comes off a little bit more sheer. The white matte one is like super white on your lids, but this one I find if I try to pack it on to where it's super white, then it kind of tends to make my eyeshadow get a little bit greasier and crease. So I'm also going to do a little bit of a flick at the end of this, because that is where the main color of my eyeshadow is gonna go to. Alright, now that I've got kind of that on there, I'm going to go in with some eyeshadow. So I should have done this first, but I was not thinking. I'm going in with the Morphe 350 palette, and I'm using this kind of tan color in the center, and I am going to put that all underneath my eyebrow and on my upper lid. I'm using a fluffy crease brush from Morphe. This is the Morphe, or the M502 brush. I have several of these because I just absolutely love them. For blending that out. Okay, so just going to put that out on there. And now, going in with the eyeshadow. So I'm using my full spectrum palette today. Going to start off, I'm going to try not to blind you, with the color Hatter. Get close with that. It's that Sprite green color. This is also in the Alice in Wonderland palette, if you have that palette. And I am taking the Morphe, it's a tiny crease blending brush, and I can't tell you what number it is because I broke it. Sorry guys. And I'm going to take that, and I am going to put this all over the lid where I put that white color. And so I'm using this tiny brush because I want it to be able to pack on the color and get it really precise. Where things get tricky, guys. I'm going to really try to make that ring out with this color. And don't worry, I'll show you how we can clean it up early or later if you try to make a mess of it. got a little bit of blurred lines, and you want to clean those up. All you need to do is take a little bit of concealer, and I'm using a really tiny brush. This is actually an eyeliner brush. So an eyeliner lip brush, and getting a little bit of that concealer on the brush. And then just take that and you're gonna go and kind of trace the outline of that makeup just to clean it up a little bit. Kind of like you would do for your eyebrows or such. And did not clean this brush very well, so it's making me look like eyes. Make sure you clean your brush really well to do this. So I'm going to go in and just clean up my lines real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, so now if you got your lines all cleaned up, we are going to go in again with the NYX white pigment. And this time you need to use a really skinny flat brush. So I have this flat one, but it's really skinny. Or you can use, again, like an eyeliner brush to do this next part. But you just want to take that white pigment or white primer and draw a thin line right above the green. And into the crease. Sorry if you're seeing my mirror. So into the crease, and then you also want to take that and go underneath your lower lash line. Let that line kind of go up beside the green and into it. So just getting to go right up there next to it, kind of connect these. So now you kind of have a white outline around the green and around your eye. One thing I forgot to mention about the white is it does add a little bit of shimmer, and the Mad Hatter, or the Hatter green eyeshadow is a matte eyeshadow. So if you don't have like a shimmery under primer and you want it to be shimmery, all you need to do is take some sort of shimmer eyeshadow and dust it over the top, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to take a big fluffy brush, and I'm using the color Iced right now from, so this color right here, Iced, from the Full Spectrum palette, because it's kind of got that white shimmery, like the pigment, so primer. So, and just kind of pat that onto the eyeshadow, and it will give it kind of a sheer shimmer. And you don't want to really pack it on, you just want to I just tapped my brush into the pigment and then just pat and dust it on the green, and that'll give it that shimmer. So now that we've done that, I'm going to get another flat brush, or again, eyeliner brush, something really thin, and I'm using the color Gold Mine out of the Full Spectrum palette. And I'm going to take that and put that over where we just put the white, or yeah, the white on the top only. So only on the top, going and placing that right over where we put the gold. And adding that white underneath again is going to help it stand out. So just tap, tap, tap to lay it over, okay, so it really gets that color packed on. Okay, so now this is going to be your choice, whether you want to put the gold on the bottom, or you can do what I'm going to do, and I'm going to use the color Mean. It's this limey green shimmery color in this palette, and I'm going to put that underneath the lower lash line right over that white. So again, I'm just going to tap, 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 and keep going over until I really have that color packed on. Okay, so for the last part of this look, I am going to take again that Mean green color, and I'm using the brush out of the Full Spectrum palette. I'm going to use this big fluffy side, and I am going to blend that right in the center. So I'm going to take it and just using small circles, blend it in right in the center to kind of make like a halo type effect. So take it and blending in, pressing a little bit more firmly, and then spreading it out to make a little halo effect. Okay, and I'm going to use that little shorter end on that side to make sure that halo effect extends all the way to the lash line, because I am not using liner for this look, because I don't want to cover up all the hard work we just did. Alright, and like I said, I'm not using liner for this look because I don't want to cover up all the hard work we just did. I'm going to go in with my Chubby Lash Mascara by Clinique and just add a few coats of that. Okay, and now for the lips, I'm going to be using this lipstick by Model Company, and it is the color Truffle. Since we have such a bold eye look, I'm going to nail it down with the lips, and I am not against a bold eye look and a bold lip look. If that is what you feel like doing, go for it. But for this look, I'm just going to use this color. It's kind of a pinky nude. And there we go. And here is the final look. Alrighty guys, so I hope you enjoyed this look. I love to see if you try it out for St. Patrick's Day. If you do that, just tag me on Instagram on your pictures, or on Twitter or anything like that, and so I can see your pictures. And that is all. So I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Okay, so now that I have that on there a little bit, I'm going to go in with a little bit of more, The struggle is real today. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'm going to use, actually the brush that comes in the Full Spectrum palette. I'm going to use kind of this, no I'm not.